Hi, today we'll be making jjimjeongguksu, which is Korean for cold noodle tray. This dish combines cold spicy noodles, some eggs for protein, and some wonderful vegetables in a fruity, spicy sauce. Let's get started. Okay, let's review our ingredients. Now you can use any type of noodles you prefer. I will be using Japanese Somen noodles. Next we have apple cider vinegar, soy sauce, toasted sesame seeds, baby romaine lettuce, ginger, 2 eggs, gochujang, 1 pear, 1 tomato, 1 zucchini, 2 carrots, and some onion. The first thing we want to do is cook the noodles. This is so that we can have them getting nice and chilled before we cook anything else. Now I'm using about 4 ounces of Somen noodles today. Okay, as I've been waiting for this pot to boil, I've gotten our ice bath ready for once we have drained our noodles. All right, let's go ahead and put in our noodles. Now if you use this kind of noodles, they don't take very long to cook. All right, let's go ahead and get the water out of this. Okay, I'm going to add some more ice to this, but we should let it sit here for at least 20 minutes, getting nice and cold. Okay, now that I've added some ice, we're going to move on to the next step and make our sauce. There are 2 parts to this sauce. So let's start with our pear, which don't worry, I've pre-washed. Can always cut the skin off, but then you're cutting out your fiber. All right, next we're going to just use a little bit of this onion. I'm only going to use 1/8 of a cup because I just want the flavor of it without it overpowering anything. Finally, for our ginger, this will get pureed, so I'm not going to cut it up too much. So for our ginger, I'm just going to use a little over a tablespoon of ginger. Now that we have pureed the pear, ginger, and onion, we will complete our sauce and stick it in the refrigerator to get nice and cold. The first thing we'll add is our 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 1.5 teaspoons of soy sauce. Last but not least, our gochujang. Now I'm going to add in about a tablespoon. If you would like it spicier, just add more gochujang. All right, we want to stir this really good here, get it all mixed in together. Okay, now we want to cover this and put it in the refrigerator while we finish the rest of our dish. Okay, let's cut up our veggies. Next, let's do our carrots. It's time to plate all of this. Now that our noodles are nice and cold and drained, and now that our sauce is cold, we're going to mix these together. Now that it seems like it's pretty stirred up, we're going to move on to our next step. And finally, our wonderful cold noodles. And let's top it off with a little bit of sesame seeds. Okay, let's taste our cold noodle tray. This is really tasty. It's very refreshing and a bit spicy. As you can see, this is not a difficult thing to make. There are just a lot of steps, but it's totally worth it. It's really good. I hope you try and make one. Thanks for joining me.